Hello again, I am Blunty. Now the video I'm about to show you is actually a cross-posting from a gig over at DigiDirect TV. Basically, as I was putting the video together, it suddenly occurred to me that the thing I was reviewing was so friggin' useful that I figure I'd spread the love over on this channel too, just for those of you who watch me here and don't watch me over there, because, you know, this thing is, well, like I said, really useful, particularly if you like shooting video on your smartphone type devices, but also if you shoot on the bigger gear as well. It's invaluable. Check it out. Hello shutter buggers, I am Blunty and welcome to an adaptable episode of DigiDirect TV. Alright gang, this episode will be of particular interest to those of you who like to shoot on your smartphones, and also to those of you who shoot on the bigger gear but have trouble with audio sometimes, because it's about this product. It's called the mic connector from MyMic, and it's this, basically. Let's throw the box over there. This is all it is, this tiny little scrap of wire with a plug on each end, and what this does is something awesome. You can grab your iPhone or your iOS device, your tablet, your iPod Touch, works on a lot of Android devices as well, and you plug it in there and you get another plug there which looks exactly the same, but this plug has been specifically wired to allow you to plug in proper real microphones to your smartphone type devices. Now normally if you plug a mic like this directly into your iPhone's got no idea what to do with it, because that iPhone connection is a 4-pole connection. It's got connections there for your headphones and your microphone. If you just plug a microphone plug into it, which looks like that, it doesn't know what to do with it. It thinks you're plugging in a standard set of headphones, so it doesn't know how to bring the microphone audio in. But this connection solves that. Now this isn't a new invention, this sort of thing here. These have been around for a while. It started out with people sort of home making them. They figured out the pinouts and wired them up themselves and built them themselves, and you know, it's a fairly simple build if you know what you're doing with electronics and are handy with a soldering iron. You've also been able to get them from specialist websites where they sort of make them by hand and then sell them out to you. But this is the first time I've seen, where did I throw that box? It's over there. This is the first time I've seen a device like this that is ready, sitting in retail, all boxed up, nice and pretty, so you can just walk into a store, grab it off the shelf, and go to work. There's no pissing about, basically. You don't have to build it yourself. You don't have to special order it from somewhere and wait God knows how long to get it. You can just walk into a DigiDirect store and say, I want one of these, and you buy one, so long as they're in stock. And I would recommend to my DigiDirect people in the stores over there that you get lots of these in stock, because they're brilliant. And just to demonstrate this for you in practical terms, like you know I love to do, here's some demos. Alrighty, firstly, just so we have a baseline level comparison, this is the naked audio from the iPhone, just with the built-in mics. This is the iPhone 5S, by the way, whose mics are reasonably good, and I've used them on their own a few times, but they're just, you know, no substitute for a quote-unquote real microphone, as I'm about to show you. Alrighty gang, I thought I'd start with the Sennheiser MKE400, I think is the model number if I remember correctly. And as you can see from behind the scenes camera here, nothing has changed about my setup. We're still the same distance from the microphone and everything. The only difference is I'm using a proper mic instead of the onboard mics, and you should hopefully be able to hear a clear difference. A lot less room tone and noise and hiss and hum and traffic noise from my window over there, because this is a directional shotgun microphone, of course, so it's just focused right on me. And I picked this microphone here to start off with because it's probably one of the most appropriate microphones to use with this, because it is so small and compact and easy to carry around. I think the Rode VideoMic Pro is a little bit of a better performer, but it's also big and heavy and bulky and just annoying sometimes, really. But let's have a listen to it. And now we're dealing with the Rode VideoMic Pro, my favourite of all the video mics, really. It's served me very well since they first came out, and I love it to bits. The only problem with it is I tend to sometimes forget to turn it off and drain batteries accidentally, and that's where the next mic comes in. Now it's time to check out the Rode VideoMic Go through the mic connector, and this one is the one I was worried about. This one I didn't think would work because the Rode VideoMic Go doesn't have its own battery power or anything like that, so I thought, you know, the little cable here wouldn't pass through that little bit of voltage that this microphone needs to operate correctly, but it does, and it makes me very happy, because this is a brilliant microphone, particularly if you're traveling this. You never ever have to worry about battery management. It just runs off the little bit of voltage that your camera supplies, and I'm so happy that this cable passes through that, so it does work perfectly. And using a handheld mic is perhaps even more practical than using a shotgun mic, because as we heard before, the microphones on particularly the iPhone 5S are pretty good in their own right. So maybe there's not a huge advantage in using a shotgun mic when it's mounted onto the camera itself. I mean, you can mount it off camera and use a little stand and things like that. That works brilliantly too, and that's where this adapter comes in really handy. But particularly for handheld mics, when you're doing sort of, reporting jobs and ENG style stuff, ENG, electronic news gathering, in case you're not familiar with the parlance of the video industry. But as you can hear, it works brilliantly, and this particular setup is a lifesaver as well. It means you can be totally super portable and still get incredibly good audio, even in really noisy environments. And I tend to use this microphone a lot when I'm doing interviews at big events and conventions and stuff like that, because it really helps, isolate you from the noise around you, even more so than a shotgun mic pointed at your subject, which I do also use at those events, but this in particular for interviews is brilliant. And in case you're wondering, this is the Rode M3 mic. I don't know whether they're sitting on shelves in the DigiDirect stores, but we do stock Rode stuff in the stores, so the guys can probably get you one in if you want. It's not a cheap microphone, but it's been serving me very well for many years, and in this particular setup with the mic connector thing, how can you say no? I mean, if you're doing edits on the road, even when you're editing on your iPad or your iPhone, this is a terrific way to do voiceover stuff as well. Even if you're using on-camera audio from your iPhone, you're out there, when you get home, you're doing your travel video and you want to do a nice sounding, clear, crispy, professional level voiceover to your stuff you're editing, maybe on iMovie on the phone itself. Actually, that's another thing I should mention while we're at it. This connector works on your Mac as well. The Macs these days have this a single connector. In the old days, you had one for your microphone and one for your headphone. These days, the Macs, the MacBook Airs and stuff like that, like I use, have the same connector that the iPhone uses, and of course that means this works brilliantly for that too. So no longer do you have to get a microphone sort of adapter soundboard or use a USB microphone specifically for your voiceover stuff. You can use this mic on your Mac through the mic connector thing and do your voiceovers that way as well, which could get me out of a lot of trouble as well, because I do a lot of voiceover stuff on my videos, of course, but I usually use a USB microphone to do that. But this setup makes it really easy to use whatever microphone I like to do my voiceover. So if I'm on the road and I'm not carrying my full complement of gear, I normally don't take my USB microphone with me on the road because it's big and bulky and heavy. But this, brilliant, gets me out of trouble, easy, simple. And like I said before, it's the first time I've seen this kind of product. It's not a new idea, but this kind of product just sitting there on the shelf at retail in a box, ready to go. Go in, pick it up, grab it, use it, go home, and you're away. It makes it super easy, and it's a decent price as well. $20, I think, should be the price sitting on the shelf or thereabouts. But it's brilliant. I love it. I truly love it. It's brilliant. I borrowed this one from the store to do a review, but I'm going to keep it. I'm going to take my $20 into the store and go, no, I'm not bringing this back. I'm keeping it. It's too handy. Too handy. Now then, aside from those of you who love to shoot on your smartphone devices or just want to sort of keep this and a small microphone handy in your kit bag at all times so you can whip it out and do a little sort of on-the-spot documentary or vox pop kind of shoot stuff and, get control of your audio properly, this is also good, like I said in the beginning, for people who shoot with quote-unquote proper gear, the big gear, your DSLRs, your Micro Four Thirds, your Sony mirrorless cameras and, whatever you're shooting with out there, whether or not it's got a microphone input on its own, you can use this to turn your iPhone or other smartphone device into a body pack. So you can put your smartphone in your pocket, wire your handheld microphone into this, and in this way, instead of carrying around a dedicated audio recorder like the Zoom H1 I've talked about, or the Zoom H4n, another very popular option for a lot of DSLR shooters out there, if you just have sort of very basic needs, you just need to get that audio recorded nice and cleanly, and you don't want to have a cable running between the microphone and the camera, particularly if you're in front of the camera in a presenter style thing, then this is just a brilliant little lifesaver. This will get you out of so many tricky situations so easily, and as you can see, it's just a little scrap of cable, so it's not costing you. And I love this stuff when it doesn't cost you any weight or bulky. But then you find a situation where it's useful, you whip it out of your bag and boom, problem solved instantly, and it's just brilliant value. These aren't on the digidirect.com.au website just yet. Our web guy's been on holidays, he's only just gone back, so hopefully it will be up there soon. But until then, you can call the guys up or pop into one of the stores and say, I want one of these things. So there you go, guys. Simple, cheap, easy to carry around with you, and an absolute lifesaver when you really need it to be. That is your lot for this week in DigiDirect TV. Thanks for joining us. Come back each and every Wednesday for more. Subscribe so you don't miss any. Join us on our Google Plus community page to share your shots and bits and pieces, and email me directly if you've got a product you want me to look at in one of these videos. But until then, I am out of here.